Welcome, Aquarius, to your end of the month reading for August. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If your friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on with you and your energy of what you're thinking, feeling, or the energy surrounding you before the end of the month. Okay, this message for Aquarius. And one more. The Five of Swords upside down, seeing a resolution, coming to some kind of understanding. Also could be some kind of reconciliation coming. That's what it is. For some of you, have this reconciliation that's coming from someone, whether it's a friend, a loved one, family member, could be anybody. But definitely having this reconciliation, feeling that energy coming around, because there will be this understanding and this resolution coming to between the two of you. Let's see, Five of Swords. Clarifying on the Five of Swords doesn't only clarify on it, but the entire reading. So let's see what's going on here. Five of Swords, please. Coming together. I also have the Control upside down. It's like, ooh. And just looking at this card, it's kind of interesting because this is kind of like letting go of the control, you know, to have the resolution, the reconciliation, and the understanding. So whatever control could have been there is now being released. Very nice. Okay, so having the coming together over here is saying, yes, we are having this coming together, this better understanding, where we can put our problems and obstacles behind us and really make this work. Really unifying over here. Okay, and getting straight to the situation. The situation is taking place in the present, the recent past, and the near future. Taking back your power over here with the Emperor. Feeling like, well, that's crazy because this is the Emperor card and it's upside down. So this is about control, over controlling, right? So that's crazy. And then you have the Emperor card coming out. Let's just leave this here for now, guys, because the Emperor is here and it's saying, I'm in control. I have self-will and self-courage. Where before maybe the control was letting go of control issues, right? Like I don't need to control the whole situation. I just need to be courageous and, you know, be willful, right? And just know where my stability really stands. I don't need that kind of control. So in the recent past, you have the Seven of Swords and then the Six of Pentacles coming out, which is that begging for forgiveness. Whoa. Just give me a second, guys. Wow, that's crazy. So I feel like there was some over control in someone's issue, and some it could be someone was over controlling, and you're just like, I'm just going to sit over here and be in control, put the ball in my court, and just be stable. I know who I am, and that's your energy right there, Aquarius. Excuse me. It's an Aries card. You could have been dealing with an Aries. And maybe it was, maybe the Aries that you were dealing with was over controlling. And you're like, I don't need to be over controlled. Or maybe you're feeling like you didn't need to over control the situation, so you let it go. However it is, take that how it resonates. It's going to be a little different for everybody. But that's definitely crazy because it's showing the two switching. With the Seven of Swords over here, we'll get rid of this one just for now that we kind of got that out of the way. With the Seven of Swords over here in reverse, it's telling you, well, look, there was a lot of responsibilities and a lot of adjusting going on. Maybe that's where that's coming from too. Adjusting to someone's over controlling issue. Or maybe they were trying to adjust to you and you ended up becoming too over control. Take that how it resonates, guys. You guys know everybody's situation is going to be definitely different on that one. But I believe that this control has everything to do with between these two cards, between the past to the present. And that's why it's coming out, Because it's saying, yeah, to get to this adjustment, to this understanding, someone had to let go of major control issues. And it almost feels like Aquarius to the point to where it's like, I'm adjusting to this and taking on all the responsibilities that I can. And you were feeling very, like you were in authoritative mode. So maybe you were, maybe it was you who was being a little over controlling because maybe you felt somebody else was super irresponsible. That does happen though. And now you just kind of calmed down and let go of that kind of control and said, okay, let's get back to the, you know, to the norm over here. Because I have the understanding that maybe I was trying to hold the ball too tightly. I was trying to be too superior. But however it is, it's adjusting. And that's not very long ago. It feels like it's only a couple of weeks ago for the majority of you. Could be longer, could be shorter, could have been yesterday, could have been 3 hours before this reading, however. But yeah, it was like making bad judgment calls. Maybe they were making bad judgment. We have 2 air signs over here now too. So maybe they were over controlling and you were trying to adjust your lifestyle around them. Maybe that's what hurt the relationship. However it was, somebody's making bad judgment calls over here, but you're trying to adjust to all these bad judgment calls. It's like, hey, you know, I know you're not thinking clearly, right? But I'm just kind of rolling with the blows over here. It's almost like they roll the dice and then you just kind of go with it. But it makes you go into hermit mode. It makes you reflect upon the situation. And if it was you, Aquarius, knowing that, you know what, I was over controlling, I didn't see where I was going, I was making some bad judgment calls. Now I'm going to go reflect on this and get this situation back to the knowing, yes, and get back into being willful, getting my Emperor right side up, because, you know, having that kind of control is not going to help the situation. If anything, it's hurting the situation. And if it is this, I'm going to say Aries over here, because boy, now we have 3 Aries cards coming up. It could be Aries, Taurus, cusp, Aries, or a Taurus. However, but I will tell you one thing, somebody over here was rolling the dice in the wrong direction over here. And it's got somebody thinking, and it really does feel like it's you. And maybe, you know what, you took the dice away from them and said, you know what, I've tried to adjust to your situations. Maybe you both were being a little over controlling, but you've decided, you know what, I have to be more stable about this situation and figure out this situation out, because it caused a tower between the 2 of you. Wow, take that how that goes, because that could really go 2 ways, 3 ways, all ways. You know what I mean? Maybe it was both of you trying to, maybe you're both too, like maybe you both want the ball in your court and you're trying to adjust by too much control. They're too controlling, you're too controlling. Wow. Anyways, so we have the tower over here, and this just fell. I mean, it just crumbled, guys. I mean, there's too much power over here. But now it just feels like you become the emperor that you need to become over here, Aquarius, and you're really sitting tight. And you're having this resolution, you're having this understanding that the only way that we can even make this work, there's a reconciliation coming. Now, between all the 10 of Swords. It was like you surrendered to the 10 of Swords. You said, I'm done with that. I'm not going to worry about that anymore. Right now, you're just kind of resting and just kind of taking a recharge. Right now is a good time for a recharge on this situation. That looked like a lot of hecticness in the recent past, however that story went, because, man, I'm telling you, that's really powerful in a power play. You know, maybe that's what it is, you guys. Power play. I just heard it. It's a power play. Maybe you knew they were power playing you. Maybe that's just the point. You have 2 strong energies that are trying to take control. With the Page of Cups over here, it's like you're just trying to recharge right now. Right now is a good time to just recharge and get your emotions back to being where they're supposed to be. Just really taking back the stability of yourself and just being, having that inner courage and inner strength for yourself with the Emperor. you know, because they're coming back. And it does feel like for me, Aquarius, that, you know, a lot of you do want them back. Some of them you're like, oh God, here they come, right? It's gonna be a little different for everybody. But there is this fairness. And I do feel like, you know, however it is, whether you want them back or not, you're going to, with the Emperor, you're going to have this fairness with them because you have more of an understanding of what just took place, of why the Tower happened. So you are, you know, you're not struggling with that at all anymore. Ace of Wands, a lot of you do not want this reconciliation. Oh, that's why they're begging you back. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, you do not want this, but you are finding the fairness within the situation. I think, you know, you're like, you know what, we have too much of a power struggle. You know, maybe you see them as power hungry, not allowing you to have any say within the relationship, always trying to take the ball. You know, it's like, you know, it's a court, you know, we can have two balls in one court, you know, to make it, you know, go together over here, either that or share. Pass the ball, you know, it's like freaking basketball, pass the ball. God, you ball hog, right? Seriously, that's the way it feels. It's like there was always shortcomings over here. I really think it's, for the majority of you, it's them. Because I really see this hot-headed either Scorpio or a Aries over here who really likes to be in control. And yeah, you're saying no reconciliation. Look, I see that you're waving the white flag at me. I get it, but I don't think that this is a good relationship. You know, it's kind of what you're thinking over here. You're just, and I think this is where the control is I think they're kind of telling you, no. I kind of had a resolution too, that you're right. I hold the ball too much. And you know what? I need to let it go. I need to be fair. I need to, you know, allow you to have things too, Aquarius. And I really think this is another reason that's there as well. And you're just saying no. For some of you, you already have another person. With the Three of Cups, you're already happy with a new relationship. You've already met somebody, you've already found someone, and you're saying, no, I'm not going to give it this new relationship with maybe this Cancer. For you, you might even found a new Libra that you're very happy with. Look at that. Yeah, for a lot of you, you're like, I already found Mr. or Mrs. Right. I'm not going back to you, and I'm not going to give up this new relationship for this older relationship. Remember, guys, we are going into a retrograde. We already started the retrograde on the 19th. So with Uranus in retrograde, which is your planet, it kind of could be messing with you a little bit, trying to get your karmic debts out and done and over with. And so if you feel that this is a karmic relationship that you had with this person and you have a new person, or even if you don't, you might want to feel like right now during this retrograde is a good time to start cutting those karmic ties, right? I don't need you being bound and chained to me anymore. That's for, you know, a lot of you. But for a lot of you, I do feel like you did meet this new person, and you're not going to give this new person up. And for a lot of you, it doesn't feel like it's a very old relationship with this new person. It feels kind of new and fresh. And, you know, it's kind of funny because it's almost like, but you haven't been dating them that long. You can totally get rid of them to come be back with me. You guys, are you really dealing with somebody that narcissistic? That egomatic? Maybe that's what's going on here, and you know it? Wow. Because I just, like, I don't know who that's for, but I just heard this narcissist. Like, I don't care if you've been dating them for a month. We were together 5 months. You can totally get rid of that person and come back to me. They might even think that you're in a third party situation. The ego, right out the door. However, it doesn't matter, right? They can think what they want. But I do see that. And for others of you, you could be like, I was with them a year and they still think that I should get rid of this person. Wow, now you're blowing my mind, right? And it does feel like, however it is though, Aquarius, they are saying that they do believe no matter what, that you are their person. Wow, ownership. Hello. Now you're owned, right? get your collar on. They've got a leash for you guys. And of course, for cross-watcher, it could be the other way around. Aquarius, you could be saying, no, that's what Aquarius does to me. Absolutely. So, Six of Pentacles over here, upside down, they are begging for you to come back. Now, I see that with it talks that there is that karmic. I told you. For some of you, it is completely karmic, and they're keeping you feeling like you're in a cage. I'm feeling ball and chain around the ankle, my friends, over here. Wow. But you know, it's toxic. You're like, you know, you can sit over here and beg and cry and steal and do this and that for my attention, for the relationship. Look at that, begging for you to come back, but it feels like it's so overwhelming. It's so toxic. It's so crazy, right? It's almost crazy talk, right? You're talking crazy because of the committed relationship. And it's talking about that committed relationship. They want to be committed to you, or they feel like they're bound and chained and committed to you. That's where that you're my person came from. Wow. And you're saying no, because they're trying to get rid of your freedom. Why? What is up with this? And you might even be saying it too, Aquarius. You know what? You are so controlling that you were the ball and chain. You made me into a ball and chain. You literally restricted me from freedom. And that's for some of you. You actually felt like you were restricted from freedom. I couldn't go out and have fun with your friends. You couldn't, without them knowing where you were, or literally you just couldn't do so. Could only talk and text to certain people. I don't know. I just feel like they're restricting you from your freedom for some of you. For others of you, you're like, this is not the vitality and the happiness that I want. I am not taking that back. And this begging for your attention is pretty overwhelming. For some of you, it's really over the top. No matter what, it almost feels for some of you like it's harassment, like literally harassment, like you're harassing me. Watch my words over here and get demonetized, right? Yeah, you feel like it's totally immature. They're being so immature and they're acting so codependent that it's like to the point where this is like I said, this feels over the top. For others of you, it's just really overwhelming and you just don't want to deal with this anymore because you know that you guys are just not meant to be coming together. So I would say that this is the way it's going to be. This is what they wanted. This is the way it was in the past. They want this coming together for this reconciliation, and you're having the understanding that the coming together is not going to happen. So I would have to say that we can just put this way for you, friends, and I think you'll all like and appreciate that a lot more, because the more you look at it, you're probably like, I am not. After this reading, I wouldn't be right there with you. Yeah, you're going to let this go. You don't have time for any of that. You've perceived all the things you're going to perceive within this situation. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. And for a lot of you, you've already found Cancer as your love. You're saying, I already found either true love within myself, and I'm great by myself. Thank you very much. I already got true love. It's either one or the other, because I don't really see it any other way. Because I do see someone else here. And I also see, you know what? I'm having just a good time with my friends over here. Okay, which you restricted me from. I'm fine by myself. Thank you very much. And then others of you, it's just, you just found your own coming together, no matter what, right? You found it and you perceived what coming together is for you, which is finding your own happiness and being, I'm going to say free. Yep, so definitely separating yourself from this situation. And, you know, I don't even really feel like there's any Three of Swords anymore, because you've already surrendered. You've already gotten through your Ten of Swords, which doesn't seem to take a whole long over here, Aquarius, because it does feel like it kind of snapped at you real fast about what was kind of going on, because you went straight from the Tower, straight over to here, straight to rest, straight to looking. You were, you know, kind of already looking at the situation, knowing that it wasn't, because you're in the knowing. You had the knowing that this was not good for you. This is disloyal to yourself. This is not bringing in the happy achievements for you, and you know that it's not going to ever, but they are watching you like a hawk, and they want to fight with you because they have their own depression issues. They have lost all their willpower and inner strength in their own ways. You know, but it's just because they're manipulating the situation. Their inner strength and inner will is not because they're not strong. You know as well as I do, they're coming up as an emperor and you're coming up as an emperor. So they already have this really strongness to them. The strength card upside down is more like having the inner strength to carry on without you. It's more of an emotional, you could, yeah, because look guys, you can be the biggest egomatic narcissist in the world, but as I've told people before, they're actually sometimes the easiest people to take down. They're the hardest people to sometimes get along with, but when it really comes to the inner strength pieces, the easiest to take down because they actually are not as strong as they want the world to believe they are. Their mouth is stronger than their emotions. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like they have this inner emotional piece to them to where it's just tearing them up. And that's what makes them so, you know, the Grinch, you know, our heart is blackened or however you want to see it, right? But the inner strength that they have is saying they want what they want. They're not getting their way and their willpower is low. Probably the best way to say that. So yeah, they're going to manipulate the situation. And for a lot of you, yeah, they are watching you, stalking you, because they're trying their hardest right over here to get your attention. So they could be like showing up at your workplace, trying to get your attention, things of this nature, which is, you know, at your friend's house. It's really bad. Not a good situation at all. And that's because they really want to fight for what they believe is, I keep hearing they're yours. I don't like that because that's ownership within a situation, because that's also becoming entitled for you to be theirs. Like I said, you don't have the collar and they don't own the chain or the leash, right? But in their heads they do. So that's bad. And I do see that for a lot of you. And it you know, even if you're like, wow, some of you might even say, I knew they were bad, but I didn't realize that was that bad. But the problem is even if they weren't that bad, they become that bad. Look at that. You know, but most of you, you know that they have that ability to do so. Probably already starting to see it in a lot of ways, especially right now in the present. You're starting to see that. As soon as you say no reconciliation, it's like the whole world just blew up and died, right? And you're like, oh my God, settle down. Right? It's not, wow, go, you know, there's other fish in the sea for you, my friend. You know, it's just not you and me. Right? Okay. I'm actually going to grab some angel romance cards over here. So they kind of go from what it looks like to me, my friends, is this crying, taking it way over the limit to straight into Stalkerville, is manipulating Stalkerville. So you could say, well, they're just crying and carrying on. So, but now all of a sudden they just like, it was like the light switch went off and they just turned into this stalking spire. Whoa, what's that card? For a lot of you, you're calling in a soulmate. Those are for those of you who don't have somebody already. You do deserve love. Yeah, there is no more romantic feelings with that person, but that person still has passion for you and they want you to give the relationship another chance. They want you to trust them. I still think this is a karmic relationship. You have to figure out what you learned about the situation so you can cut the chain. What did you learn from them, right? So that way you can have that done and over with. Because no matter what, you guys in a karmic relationship have learned something from each other. And it wasn't learning that they're a stalker or that they're emotionally, you know, distressed. That wasn't it. That was not it. You have to learn, like, okay, they taught me how to stay strong. They taught me how to use inner strength. They taught me how to stand up for myself. You see what I'm saying? It has to be good things that they taught you because that's what they're there for, or to teach you to watch out for maybe other people who are like themselves. That could be another situation is true. It does say they need to learn to love themselves first. I see that all over this reading, no matter what. Okay. And that was it. Okay. And I would say the most important thing here, my friends, for you in this is you deserve love. Don't go for anything less than what you deserve. Peace and love, my friends. Bye-bye.